Alright guys, and welcome to this exciting episode of Top Corner Worldwide. Nico Wizzy is my name as usual, and we're here to talk about the Premier League. The English Premier League match day 3 was played last weekend, and of course Chelsea started the day with a 2-0 victory against Fulham amidst the controversy surrounding Nicolas Jackson's transfer to Bayern Munich, where he has been told to come back to Chelsea after it was found out that the Chelsea first choice striker, talking about Liam Delap, got injured. He's going to be out for 8 weeks after he got injured in the game against Fulham. And then for that reason, Chelsea, we are told, of course, Chelsea became uninterested in the loan deal concerning Nicolas Jackson to Bayern Munich. They revoked his permission to undergo medical tests. They informed Bayern of their intention not to continue with the loan deal, but Nicolas Jackson and his agent insisted that they will continue with that very loan deal. But amidst this very controversy, Chelsea still managed to win 2-0 with Joao Pedro and Enzo Fernandez becoming the goal scorers of that very game. Manchester United, on their own hand, picked up their first victory of the current season with an impressive 3-2 victory against Burnley. Bruno Fernandes scored for Manchester United, which was actually his 63rd Premier League goal for Manchester United, more Premier League goals than David Beckham did at United. Remember David Beckham, who left Manchester United in 2003 to join Real Madrid. Bryan Mbeumo with the second goal of the game, his first Premier League goal for Manchester United, his second goal in all competition for Manchester United after the first one he scored against Grimsby Town during the midweek. And of course, Clive Foster and Jordan Anthony both on target for Burnley, while Josh Cullen gave United the opener after he scored in his own net. It was an own goal, and then United won 3-2. Sunderland at the Stadium of Light defeated Brentford by 2-1, with goals coming from Enzo Lefi and Wilson Isdor. Wilson Isdor has been a fantastic player during his time during last season's championship with Sunderland. He has been quite fantastic. Not just him, Enzo Lefi, also another fantastic player. But then Igor Thiago scored for Brentford. Yes, this guy has been injured since he joined Brentford, but he picked up recently and started scoring goals very much. And of course, we had AFC Bournemouth defeated. They ended up defeating Tottenham by 1-0 in the Premier League match day 3 that was played last weekend. Evan Nielsen on target for the Cherries as we approach the close of the transfer window. Yes, of course, Evan Nielsen, £40 million signing for AFC Bournemouth. That was like last season. That was when he joined. He's currently in his second season at AFC Bournemouth, and he's doing fantastically well for them. Yes, Tottenham lost their first game of the season after starting very well. Tottenham had won their first 2 games of the season. They won against Burnley in the first match, won against Manchester City, but this time they lose to the Cherries, AFC Bournemouth. So sad, but of course we hope they pick up. And then we have Everton had a masterclass at Molineux as Wolverhampton Wanderers. They defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers by 3-2 at the Molineux, while Wolverhampton Wanderers prepares for the arrival of Tolu Arokodare, their new signing coming from Genk, while he's set to undergo medical test and then complete the signing. Awangli and Rodrigo Gomez were both on target for Wolves, while Beto, Iliman Ndiaye and Kylian Dewsbury Hall, the new signing for Everton, all scoring. Jack Grealish with double assist. Quite a fantastic outing for Jack Grealish in that particular game, trying to rediscover himself after he actually was sent out on loan to Everton from Manchester City. Wait to see if Everton is going to activate his £50 million option to buy, which is included in his deal. But that will be by the end of the season. Let's find out if they are going to activate that very option with the recent performance of Jack Grealish against Wolves. But then wait to see what will happen. Leeds United at Elland Road played out a 0-0 draw against Newcastle United. Quite of course, looking at this very game, Leeds United were expected to come back to winning ways after they initially lost 5-0 to Arsenal. And then, of course, Leeds United actually started well with an important 1-0 victory against Everton. The second game they played against Arsenal, they lost 5-0 with Victor Gyökeres netting a double But then this time they play against Newcastle United without Newcastle United without Alexander Isak as his exit rumors continue to surround his future. But then wait to see what will happen before the close of the transfer window for Alexander Isak. And then for on Sunday, the matches in the Premier League continued with Brighton and Hove Albion getting a surprising 2-1 victory against Manchester City. Yes, of course, when you look at this very game, you understand that Pep Guardiola has not done well lately with his time at Manchester City. Lately, he has not been doing well. Of course, the last time they lost 2-0 to Tottenham. This time they lose to Brighton. And then, of course, Erling Haaland was the goal scorer, assisted by the Egyptian forward Omar Mamouche. But then we have a James Milner scoring against his old club. James Milner scored, and then Braden Gruder, the German sensation, also on target for Brighton at the end of the day. And then wait to see what will be Pep Guardiola's response to these calamities Manchester City is suffering in his hands. But then wait to see what will happen as we wait to see what will happen. We also have Nottingham Forest. They just signed John Victor from Botafogo after his deal at West Ham United failed. But then before that very game, of course, just before that game, he has now been signed. But then before he was signed, Nottingham Forest lost to 3-0 to West Ham United. The same people that could not afford to sign, that initially reached an agreement to sign John Victor, but ended up abandoning him to go and sign another goalkeeper. And of course, we had Jarrod Bowen, Lucas Paqueta, and Callum Wilson all on target. Yes, Lucas Paqueta scored in the midst of transfer rumors surrounding him. And of course, there is this news about him heading to Aston Villa on a loan with an obligation to buy clause of around £47 million. Before the transfer window ends, we get to find out if he's going to leave West Ham United. Meanwhile, the Brazilian has been a fantastic player for West Ham United lately. He has been doing great. And then still talking about the Premier League, Liverpool tried to do their best against Arsenal with Dominic Szoboszlai with that beautiful 32-yard free kick against Arsenal at Anfield, and it ended 1-0 in favour of Liverpool against Arsenal in a game where Eberechi came on in the 70th minute as a substitute for Gabriel Martinelli. Eberechi just made his debut for Arsenal, but the game ended in a very sad note with Victor Gyökeres and then Martin Zubimendi, Ryan Gravenberch of Liverpool all getting booked in that very game. Of course, Arsenal had an unfortunate incident where William Saliba was pulled out in the 5th minute of the game due to an injury he suffered, and then Christian Musquera had to step in and replace him. We wait to see what will happen. Arsenal also interested in signing Piero Hincapie, the Ecuadorian left back from Bayer Leverkusen, 52 million euros signing. With time, we'll get to find out if Arsenal is going to sign the player. But then, finally, just before the sign off, we have Aston Villa. They played against Crystal Palace, and of course, in that very game, we saw how it happened. Of course, Aston Villa's first choice goalkeeper, talking about Emiliano Martinez, Dibu, was not included in the squad for that very game because of his intentions to leave the club. He has already declared his intention to leave the club, and Manchester United has already agreed personal terms with him. They are set to complete the deal with time before the transfer window ends. But then Jean-Philippe Mateta McGuehi, who is also connected to Liverpool, he might just be leaving Crystal Palace before the transfer window ends. But then he played and scored in this game against Aston Villa. It might just be his last game for Crystal Palace, talking about McGuehi. But then the Ivorian Englishman is doing well at Crystal Palace. Is the captain of the team. He's doing fantastically well for them. Ismail Assar has been fantastic since the FA Cup. He has been doing well, and of course he scored once again against Aston Villa. And of course, wait to see what will happen as the transfer window keeps on winding down. But then this is how the Premier League 2025 match day 3 2025-2026 season, of course, match day 3 Premier League ended, and we wait to see what will happen next time. And from here, Nico Wizzy remains my name. See you next time.